Let's talk about your professional headshot. You know, that one photo you use on LinkedIn, your website, pretty much everywhere. You probably spent good money on it, right? But what if I told you it might actually be, well, sabotaging your brand? Yeah, there's a huge problem hiding in plain sight in most professional photos. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain on it. Ouch, right? That quote just hits you where it hurts. It gets right to the core of the issue. The one thing you did to try and stand out is making you look just like everyone else. So what's going on here? How do so many smart, talented people end up with the exact same generic look?
Well, it all comes down to what you could call the stock photo problem. It's this weird tendency for our professional photos to look so polished, so perfect, that they become completely interchangeable.
You know the pose? I'm sure you do. The arms are crossed, maybe hands on the hips, a little chin tilt, with that professional smile. It's the go-to look for literally everyone, from real estate agents to tech CEOs. And what you get is this sea of sameness. It feels safe, I get it, but safe is the polar opposite of memorable. Now, you might be thinking, hey, wait a minute, my background is unique. I'm standing in a cool office or in front of a house I just sold. But here's the thing. If the props in the location are doing all the heavy lifting to tell people what you do, then your brand isn't even in the picture. The focus has to be on you, not the stuff around you. And this just nails the difference. Most headshots are simply documentation. They're just proof that you do what you say you do. But real branding, that communicates how you're different. It screams, here's why you should pick me over all the other guys. Your photo needs to do so much more than just document. It needs to brand. And here's the really unfortunate side effect of that generic pose. That whole crossed arms thing, you think it says confidence, but to a potential client, it can easily read as unapproachable or even a little smug. So instead of building trust, it's actually putting up a wall.
Okay, so a lot of people think they've cracked this code. They say, I don't do the stuffy poses, I do action shots. But you know what? That's often just putting a Band-Aid on the problem. It's a surface-level fix.
And this is what I call the action shot trap. Look, on the surface, everything seems great. The lighting is fantastic, you look super polished, and you're clearly on the job. But it's still just showing what you do. It's not telling me how you're different or why I should choose you. It's just documentation with better scenery.
And this is why this is such a huge issue. We're talking 99.9% of entrepreneurs haven't done the really deep brand strategy work that's needed for a photo to actually capture who they are. And listen, it's not your photographer's fault. It's not even your fault. The real problem is buried one level deeper.
You see, the real issue here isn't your photo. Not really. The headshot is just a symptom. The root cause of the whole problem is a lack of brand clarity. And without that solid foundation, any visual you create is just a shot in the dark. It's so common for business owners to think, okay, branding, check. I've got a logo and some cool colors. But honestly, that's just splashing around in the kiddie pool. Real, powerful branding goes so much deeper than just the surface-level visuals. The real work, the stuff that matters, it happens right here with these three pillars. First, you gotta define your voice. What's your brand's actual personality? Then you have to nail down your differentiation. What makes you the only choice? And finally, you have to truly, deeply get your audience. Once you have crystal clarity on these three things, then your visuals can start doing some real work. So what does this actually look like in practice? Because this isn't just some abstract theory. There's a very clear order of operations, a strategy you have to follow. Let's take the founder of Unscrewed Marketing as a perfect example. She started out using her own name, which makes sense for recognition. But she knew a rebrand was on the horizon. And she didn't just wake up one day and pick a new name. No, she put her own business through her entire deep branding process first. She defined her voice, her differentiation, her audience. And only then, out of all that strategic clarity, was the name Unscrewed Marketing born.
And that right there is the golden rule. You don't pick a cool name or book a photo shoot and then try to build a brand to fit it. That's backwards. You build the brand strategy first. The name, the photos, the website copy, all of that flows naturally from the clarity you work so hard to create.
So once you have that clarity, what do you do with it? You take it to your photographer. Instead of a vague request like, I need a professional headshot, you can have a real conversation. You can say, my brand is bold and playful, and my core message is about making finance less intimidating. How can we show that in a picture? See the difference? Now your photographer is a creative partner, not just a button pusher.
All right, let's bring this home and make it super practical for you right now. I want you to pull up your headshot and get ready to be brutally honest with yourself. We're going to ask a few simple but powerful questions.
Okay, question 1. Look at your photo. If you digitally swapped your face with one of your competitors, would the photo still make sense? If the answer is yes, then your photo's generic, and it's not working hard enough for you.
Next up, try to go beyond just, I look professional. What is the photo actually saying? What does it communicate about your unique personality, your special approach, your value? If you can't put it into words, you can bet no one else can either.
This is a fantastic little test. Imagine you Photoshop out the entire background, the office, the props, all of it. Is there anything left in just your expression, your energy, your pose that still screams your brand? Or was the background doing all the talking?
And finally, maybe the most important question of all. Put yourself in your ideal client's shoes. They're scrolling through a busy feed on social media. Is your picture compelling enough to make them stop? Or does it just blend in with every other professional they've already swiped past?
So look, if this little audit made you squirm a bit, don't just panic and book a new photo shoot. That's not the answer. The photo isn't the real problem here. It's just a symptom of a much deeper issue, a lack of brand clarity. The cure isn't a prettier picture. It's a rock-solid brand foundation. And that's really what it all boils down to. We've all heard that a picture is worth 1,000 words. But the real question you have to ask yourself is this: are your 1,000 words telling the right story? A story that is uniquely, powerfully, and unmistakably yours.